Let's face it, Hindi cinema has not been all that great of late. It's a shame that one of the biggest film industries in the world doesn't really have a lot to boast of in terms of the quality of the movies being churned out every year. Most films are being made with the sole intention of multiple investments. And what's truly frustrating is that the little indie gems get stamped down by these monstrous 100 crore blockbusters, which is a real threat to the health of cinema. Many of these gems aren't given wider theatrical releases, which pains ardent movie buffs like us. However, there are many such amazing Hindi movies you can watch on YouTube for free. And this certainly relieves us because these little gems would no longer go unnoticed now.
Day was a film that caught me completely off guard. It had a vision, unusual for a Bollywood film, and was pretty shrewd in its tackling of the subject. The film follows a team of highly trained intelligence officers who are on a mission to nab one of India's most wanted terrorists. Huma Qureshi, Irfan Khan and Arjun Rampal are absolutely brilliant, but good old Rishi Kapoor steals the show with a ferociously intense performance as a ruthless mafia don. The writing is sharp, and whilst the film tends to loosen its grip on the narrative at places, the performances eclipse the minor hiccups, which ultimately make for an incredibly satisfying experience. Life in Metro perfectly embodies everything secretly love about Bollywood. The musicals, the melodrama, the romance, the comedy, and most of all, Mumbai, a city I am deeply attached to underneath all my cynicism. The film depicts the lives of several young people who struggle with their own personal conflicts and heartbreaks in the city of Mumbai. It features an ensemble cast that includes some of Indian cinema's most accomplished stars and several other young talents. It's a must-watch for those who enjoy a bit of melodrama and romance, with a wonderful soundtrack that captures the spirit of the city in all its beauty and flaws. A movie even most Indians might have not heard about, which is quite a shame because this Manish Jha directed flick is one of the most shocking and disturbing films we have ever seen. Set in an unspecified time frame when incessant female infanticide has left a rural Indian society without women, Matrubhumi, a nation without women, follows a patriarchal and misogynistic father in his attempt to find a bride to satisfy the lust of his 4 sons. It is a scary world that Jha creates, infused with a sense of realism and urgency previously unseen in Indian cinema. A brilliant and provocative work of art. Makbul was the first installment of Vishal Bharadwaj's unofficial Shakespearean trilogy that was followed by Amka Ura in 2006 and Haider in 2014. Makbul picks up the story of Macbeth and turns the setting into modern Mumbai ruled by the underworld and Bollywood film stars. Bharadwaj's exploration of themes is deeply layered and richly intricate and weaves the story with a touch of poetic elegance. Irfan Khan delivers arguably his greatest performance to date and is supported brilliantly by a deadly gorgeous Tabu who gracefully slips into the venomous veins of Lady Macbeth.
Anurag Kashyap's uncrowned masterpiece is possibly one of the most underrated Hindi movies of all time. Back in 2009, Kashyap wasn't the star that he is today and was struggling with his experimental endeavors, which never really sat well with mainstream Indian audiences. The film had a few production issues and was stalled for 3 years before Zee Limelight helped with the release in 2009. Set in modern-day Rajasthan, the film follows a young, naive, idealistic law student who gets entangled in the politics of the state while discovering his own identity and the disturbing truths of a society repressed by the very forces that dictate its moral values.